Hello, this is Jose Silva. Many people think my research began with some grand ambition, but it started with something much more practical: my children. I wanted them to do better in school, to have an easier time learning. As an electronics repairman, I knew that for a radio to receive a signal clearly, it had to be tuned to the right frequency. I wondered if the human brain worked in a similar way. Could we tune our own minds to receive information more effectively and solve everyday problems? This simple question led me down a path of discovery, not in a fancy laboratory, but right in my own home. My first subjects were my own family, and the problems we aimed to solve were real ones, like improving grades, sleeping better, and feeling healthier. My work in electronics taught me about frequencies, measured in cycles per second. I learned that the human brain also operates on different frequencies. When we are wide awake, active, and sometimes stressed, our brain is in the beta frequency, but I discovered a slower frequency called alpha, which occurs between 7 and 14 cycles per second. This is the state we enter during light relaxation or daydreaming. I found that at this alpha level, the mind is much more receptive to new information and programming. It's the ideal state for learning and for making intentional changes. This wasn't a mystical discovery. It was a practical observation. We can learn to consciously enter this state. To start this journey with us, please comment with your city or country and subscribe to the channel to join our global community. Think of this process as creating a mental gym. It's not a physical place, but a state of mind you learn to enter at will. Just like you go to a gym to train your muscles, you enter your alpha level to train your mind. In this mental workshop, you are in control. You can work on specific goals without the distractions of the outside world. This is where you can systematically practice the techniques to improve different areas of your life. The foundation of all my work rests on this principle. First, learn to reach your alpha level. Once you are there, you have a controlled environment to make positive, lasting changes. It's a skill, and like any skill, it gets stronger and easier with regular practice. Let's start with a common problem: difficulty sleeping. Many people lie in bed with their minds racing, unable to shut off their thoughts. This is a classic example of being stuck in the beta frequency. Your brain is too active, too alert. To sleep well, you need to guide your brain into the slower, more relaxed frequencies of alpha and then theta. You can't just command yourself to sleep. You have to create the right internal conditions for sleep to happen naturally. The sleep control technique is one of the first things we teach because it's a fundamental skill. It's not about forcing sleep, but about managing your own brain activity to allow sleep to come to you peacefully and quickly. This is your first exercise in your new mental gym. To practice this, find a comfortable position, preferably lying down in your bed. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. As you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 3 times. This is to help you relax your body. Then, take another deep breath, and as you exhale, mentally repeat and visualize the number 2 3 times. This is for mental relaxation. Finally, take a third deep breath, and on exhaling, repeat and visualize the number 1 3 times. This brings you to your basic level, a state of deep relaxation. From here, simply imagine yourself sleeping soundly and peacefully. See yourself waking up in the morning, feeling refreshed and full of energy. Don't try too hard. Just gently hold that intention. Why does this simple exercise work so well? Because you are actively participating in slowing down your own brain frequencies. Instead of being a victim of a racing mind, you are taking control. The countdown from 3 to 1 is a structured method to guide your awareness from the external world, beta, to a state of internal focus, alpha. By visualizing yourself sleeping well, you are giving your mind a clear instruction, a blueprint to follow. You are replacing thoughts of worry and anxiety with a positive, desired outcome. With practice, your mind learns this new pattern, and the process of falling asleep becomes quicker and more automatic. It is a simple re-education of the mind, and the results are often felt from the very first night. Now let's talk about another practical application: pain control. Pain is a necessary signal from our body that something is wrong. However, sometimes the signal is stronger than it needs to be, or it lingers after the problem has been addressed. Through my research, I found that at the alpha level, we can learn to manage our perception of these signals. This is not about ignoring a serious health issue, but about controlling subjective sensations like headaches, muscle soreness, or chronic discomfort to improve your quality of life. The mind has a powerful ability to influence the body, and learning to use this ability consciously is a key part of our training. You can learn to turn down the volume on the pain signal. A very effective technique for this is what I call glove anesthesia. First, enter your alpha level using the 3-to-1 method. Once you are relaxed, bring your dominant hand to your awareness. Imagine dipping it into a container of cool, soothing liquid or putting on a thick, protective glove. Spend a few moments creating the sensation in detail. Imagine your hand becoming numb, insensitive, and deeply relaxed. Feel the coolness, the tingling, the lack of sensation. Once you have established this feeling of anesthesia in your hand, you can then place that hand on the part of your body where you feel discomfort. Transfer the feeling of numbness from your hand to that area, instructing the discomfort to leave. If you're understanding how this works and want to learn more Silva Method techniques, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments if this content is useful. The scientific basis for this is quite logical. Pain has two components: the physical sensation and your brain's interpretation of it. At the alpha level, you are working directly with the interpretive part of your brain. By focusing intensely on creating a sensation of numbness in your hand, you are occupying the same neural pathways that would normally be processing the pain signal. You are essentially giving your brain a different, more dominant signal to focus on. When you transfer the numbness, you are instructing your brain to reinterpret the signals coming from the area of discomfort. You are not blocking the physical cause, but you are changing your conscious experience of it. It is a powerful demonstration of mind over matter. Finally, let's address changing habits. A habit, whether it's smoking, overeating, or nail biting, is simply a program that has been run so many times in your brain that it has become automatic. To change a habit, you need to interrupt the old program and install a new, more desirable one. Doing this at the conscious beta level is often difficult because willpower alone is not enough to overwrite a deeply ingrained pattern. However, at the alpha level, your mind is much more receptive to new programming. This is the ideal state to consciously design and implement the changes you want to see in your behavior. You can become the programmer of your own mind instead of being run by old, outdated software. For this, we use the 3 scenes technique. Once you have entered your alpha level, project a mental screen in front of you. On this screen, you will visualize 3 images in sequence. First, see the problem as it is now. Visualize yourself engaging in the habit you want to change. Acknowledge it without judgment. Then, slide that scene off to the right and bring in a second scene from the left. In this scene, visualize yourself taking a positive action to overcome the habit. For example, instead of reaching for a cigarette, you see yourself taking a deep breath or drinking a glass of water. Finally, slide that scene off and bring in a third scene. Visualize the end result. See yourself healthy, free from the habit, feeling proud and successful. This technique is a form of mental rehearsal. By visualizing these 3 scenes at the alpha level, you are creating a new blueprint for your subconscious mind to follow. You are showing it the problem, the solution, and the reward. The brain does not always distinguish clearly between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. By repeatedly practicing this sequence, you weaken the neural connections of the old habit and strengthen the pathways for the new, desired behavior. You are essentially teaching your mind a new response. Over time, the new response becomes the automatic one. It is a logical, structured way to achieve lasting change from the inside out. Remember, none of these techniques are a magic pill. They are skills that you develop in your mental gym. Just as physical strength requires consistent exercise, mental control requires consistent practice. Dedicating just a few minutes each day to entering your level and working on your goals will build your mental muscles. The more you practice, the faster you will be able to reach your alpha level, and the more effective the techniques will become. This is not about belief, it is about application. I discovered these methods through experimentation and practice, and that is how you will master them too. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever own, and learning to use it effectively is the greatest skill you can acquire. The power to sleep better, manage your comfort, and change your habits is not outside of you. It is within your own mind. My life's work has been to develop simple, practical, and repeatable methods to help people access this power. It started with my own children, and it has since helped millions around the world. These are not theories but proven techniques that you can learn and apply to solve real-world problems and improve your life. It all starts with the simple decision to practice. To practice these techniques and discover more about the Silva Method, subscribe to the channel. Comment, "I can achieve everything I set my mind to," if you believe in the method. Remember, it is practice that brings results.